Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Wednesday, July 8th, 2020. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. You'll see right here that price pushed beyond the previous highs here of 31.50, closed above it one day, and then yesterday here got a failed high above that level, and late in the day sold off here in the last few hours of the day to close back below the 31.50 level. Now that area up to 31.50 and as high as the previous session's midpoint. I believe that's 58 quarter. That is going to be an area which bears want to keep defended today in the hopes that we see a further pullback towards, say, the previous month's close price here around 30.85s. So again, right now this market is seeing a push to the upside off the lower boundary of the channel here. We may see a little bit more of a pullback, but if we do, and if that pullback is rejected here, it could trigger a tremendous continuation to the upside. A failure to hold 30.85, 3100 overall could lead to a broader pullback toward the 29.22s or perhaps even back toward 27.50. But again, right now the market remains bullish until proven otherwise. And while we do see some weakness here, and we could see some short-term weakness to the downside, maybe another day or two down, keep an eye on 30.85, 3100, because if we see a rejection of these price levels, that could lead to some sort of continuation to the upside down the road. So that's going to be the zone to watch here today. Keep an eye on 3150 to 3158. As bears are going to continue to defend that zone in the near term. Above that level, squeezes right back toward highs and that 31.96 half. All right, let's take a look here at the NQ. With the NQ here, you'll see again, this market's been very, very bullish. One thing we see here is if we were to bring this out just a little bit here, this market has been trending higher within this channeling behavior here. You can see right there, we're at the upper end of that channel. Right down here is the lower end, and we're seeing a little bit of weakness here that could lead us back down inside the channel here. I talked about this last week or earlier this week that we're very strong right now, but at some point if we get a pullback, we may pull back toward 10K. That could provide a bounce for another continuation higher. You can see we've had higher lows each and every time all the way back up here, never taking out that prior pivot low. So if we do pull back, this previous month's close price at around 10.150 rather, is going to be very important, and anything below or into 10K here could be a trap and a continuation higher. So right now, again, the level to watch here after yesterday's late day selling pressure is 10.600. So keep an eye on 10.600 here. Bears want to keep that area offered for perhaps a downward push, even if it's just a one-day push downward. Above 10.600 squeezes per usual right now. So at the upper end of the range, we'll see if there's a failure to get above 10.600. If so, there could be a move back toward 10K to 10.150 here that could be viable for another squeeze. All right, let's take a look here at crude oil. Crude oil right now currently trading inside day, trading 27% of average range right now over the last 10 sessions. It's only at 47 ticks of range today. Inside day, very narrow range over the last few days in general. You can see that while this thing has been trending up and being bought in the PIMA trigger zone, this last move here hasn't really generated much juice. That's concerning here. Obviously, we could still see this thing break to the upside given the trend, but you can see each of these moves came out of this PIMA trigger zone with some juice to new highs. This one here came out and just kind of went flat for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days developing now. If we drop this to a 5-day range, you can see right now that it has already compressed here as of the previous session, which means we could be looking at least a move of about 4.5 points of range ahead right there. Now if we make it 6 handles here, we're also going to see that it's probably compressed as of today. That takes you to about 4.9 handles, 5 points here of potential expansion. So already compressed on a 5 and 6 day basis developing here. Again, this narrow range right here suggests that we could see a pretty big breakout here fairly soon. Something along the lines of this type of move, or perhaps this type of move where we get a 5 handle range. So 40 all the way down to 35s or something like that. Again, we could be looking at that type of move, 42 to 37. And same thing here. If we drop, say, to 39, perhaps 44 could be ahead, or whatever the case is. So continue to watch this range, as about a 4 to 5 handle move could be seen ahead. All right, let's take a look now at gold futures. Now with gold, we talked about the previous session that we may be looking at a squeeze ahead through 1800, and if we can close through 1800, I mentioned that 1831 would likely be right around the corner. 1831 is right here. That's a 50% expansion from the edge of the key range. The edge of the key range, 1704. There is the 50% expansion. The 100% expansion above that is 1957s. You can see after it pushed above it here, it trapped, and held, and started to get the move through. Here's that breakout day we talked about, how it changed things, and now we've gotten a push up. Here's that defense we talked about, secondary defense we talked about, and now the squeeze through 1800. Again, this is looking poised for a continuation toward 1831 very soon, and perhaps even higher. Based off of the low, the recent pivot low here, we have a target zone right up here between 1847 and 1878. So again, that could be an easy 1860 move here down the road. So looking for further expansion here for gold, unless there's a failure to hold above 1800 and we drop. So again, this 8-period average continues to be the zone to defend. Anytime it pushes into that zone, look for a continuation higher until proven otherwise. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this develops the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.